Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adam Baxter, and today I'm going to be talking about wild horses in the United States. Right now, there's approximately 49,209 wild horses in the United States on Bureau of Land Management land. That does not include other federally regulated land. The horses that are on the BLM are protected. The ones on the other ones are not so much. They do have regulations in place, but today I'm going to really focus what's on the Bureau of Land Management land. The appropriate management population is 26,677. That's a 23,000 horse difference from where it should be to where it is. So you say, why do we need to lower the population? The grazing land at hand has dropped substantially, so much that the horses are not obtaining the proper nutrients required to survive. So these horses, yeah, they're on these vast amounts of land, but they're on places like Arizona and Nevada and Utah that are desertous, and there's not much grazing land like you see around here where there's a lot of Bermuda or there's a lot of grass, period, where the horses can obtain those nutrients. So you ask, where do we start? Where do we change this population? Well, the Bureau of Land Management has put into place adoption programs. These programs will lower the populations that are on the Bureau of Land Management places in different states. There's 11 different states, but it will take horses off of those places and place them into situations where they'll be domesticated. That means that, yes, you can adopt a wild horse, a part of the Wild West, as you can say, or like the heritage of the Wild West. I am a animal science major at Tarleton State University. My primary focus has been in equine science. That means that I have studied everything from nutrients down to reproduction, down to just basic anatomy, knowing about their hooves and their guts and their teeth and their skin and how they operate. So what I want to touch on is the Wild Horse and Burro program that is run by the Bureau of Land Management. This program is overseen by the Secretary of the Department of the Internal. They operate on about 26 million acres, 26.9 to be exact. The horses are overpopulated, though, due to the lack of grazing land available. Like I said, they're in places like Arizona and Utah and Nevada where it's very desertous. There's not much grazing land. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been out there, but it's awful. It's honestly sad. I've never seen horses that depleted from nutrients. Now there are the 49,000 horses out there, but 16 of those horses have been taken into holding facilities, or 16,000, sorry. There's 16,000 horses into holding facilities. That means that these horses that are meant to be in the wild and meant to be running free are in these pens where they are stressing out, where they haven't been domesticated, they're still wild, and they have been brought into these places where they can't run and be free. So, like I said earlier, how we combat that overpopulation is that we adopt. The adoption program set forth by the BLM and the auctions that are held every year to not only give these horses to good homes, but to raise money so that they can have like the nutrients that they need and raise further awareness of the overpopulation. These horses are sold every single year, and every dime of that money is given back to the BLM and also given to the Mustang Heritage Foundation. The Secretary of the Department of the Internal also has the capability to cull. It's something that they don't like to do. They really only cull old, sick, lame horses that cannot sufficiently survive out in the habitats that they're in. So your next question is probably, what are the owners going to do with the horses once they get them? Well, you can do one of two things. The BLM requires that you have a 6-foot fence around the horse if it's over the age of 18 months old whenever you adopt. If it's over the age of 18 months old, you have to have that 6-foot fence, and it has to be in a secure holding facility. That fence can't be made of plastic, it has to be metal pipe or really sturdy wood. You have to have wire meshing to prevent the horse from getting caught up and hung and hurt. Or you can turn it and you can domesticate it, and you can domesticate it and keep it as a pet and just as a pasture ornament. You can ride it for pleasure, stuff like that. And then the other side that I'm really going to touch on is you can compete with them. The Extreme Mustang Makeover and the Mustang Heritage Foundation have a huge role in post-adoption process for these horses. The Extreme Mustang Makeover has 4 competitions each year. One is in Kentucky, one is in Florida, one is in California, and one is here in Texas. It's in Fort Worth. That one is in September. Usually it kind of changes around. I think it's about the second weekend of September each year. They haven't set out the 2019 schedule yet this year, so I can't really give you a definite number on that. But they do these competitions to show off that the horses are able to do everything that your normal horse that we would breed outside of the wild, that they can do everything that they can do. And then therefore it encourages more people to use these horses for everyday work, like day working and working cattle and stuff like that. So with these competitions, the trainers, they go and they pick up the horses, and they have 100 days from the day that they pick it up in the exact moment they pick it up to the time that they compete. You have 100 days to really perfect what you're doing. These horses will compete in handling, conditioning, Mustang maneuvers, and a trail class. And then the top 10 from those will compete in a Saturday night performance. They get to go into a huge arena full of thousands of people, and they get to do a freestyle finals. This is the conclusion of the event, but after the event, they'll do a auction. These horses will be auctioned off. Half of the money will go to the trainers because of all the time and work and feed and everything that they put into these horses. And then the other half will go back into the BLM and to the Mustang Heritage Foundation. The competitor and the winner of the entire competition could win $50,000. So yeah, you may be Joe Schmo off the street, but if you get the right training and you get the right tools that you need to become a good horse trainer, or maybe just the luck of the draw, you may just get a good horse and you may pick up on things like that. You really draw the crowd and really get the attention. Well, you could go in there and win $50,000. So a horse that you maybe paid a couple $100 for the adoption fee, you could win $50,000 with. But the whole gist of this entire thing was to really focus on the overpopulation and how we can fix that population. And the main thing that we are doing right now is to adopt. And the dramatic impact that the adoption is really going to have on the population and really lower it, hopefully, will prevent the starvation that has already begun in many of the horses until we get it down to near normal numbers. Thank you.